Holla ballers, it's Preacher, and recently we've been doing the Glory of the Hero achievement. Not something I actually bother with generally, but considering how many dungeons we've had to do in Legion so far, it totally made sense. So this is not a guide to doing the achievements. What I want to do is recommend the achievements that I actually found really fun, because there are some absolute bullshit achievements in there that are terrible in all ways. Blackrock Hold, go fuck yourself. And recommend the ones while you're still in relatively low B gear that are actually a ton of fun and you might want to get done just because it's a wonderful experience, alright? So let's look at those ones. Let's go. So an important note as we get into this is the sad fact is, although you do get the mount, which is debatable on whether or not it's good or not. I don't particularly like it, but I want a rainbow unicorn. Where's my rainbow unicorn at? If there was one of those in game, I'd farm the shit out of it. You can get them out, but the artifact appearance that you get, you can't get until you get the model. Oh dear. So it's like the third one in the row, or the fourth one. So yeah, don't be expecting to unlock the artifact skin if you go ahead and do the whole hog and get all the achievements, because that's not gonna happen, which is a little bit sad. It's the, for mine, it's like the fourth one. A bit of a pisser. So the first one I thought was absolutely fucking awesome. Had so much fun doing this. And the sad truth is, one, it was heavily bugged for a lot of people, which means you might have got it naturally. There'll be plenty of you out there who have this achievement and didn't do it correctly to actually get it, which is fine. That's just the way some of these things go. And that was Helheim Hath No Fury. So Helheim Hath No Fury is a speedrun achievement. You have to rescue the captured Valkyr in the Maw of Souls. Now, the actual time limit for this is a little over 2 minutes from killing the first boss. What's it called? Ymmeron. Killing Ymmeron and actually killing the second boss. You have to kill him. So when you actually get to the second boss, you'll see that he's channeling a spell into a Valkyr. That Valkyr will continue to die over the course of the fight. So it's not a case of you pull the boss and then that's it. If you kill the boss, you win. The time limit is really strict if you're doing this in like 830, 840 less gear, depending on your group setup, obviously, with the way trash DPS is right now. And you end up just fucking tear-assing through the dungeon real fucking fast, and it gets really intense towards the end because you'll be up there with like giants and stuff trying to get everything down, and it gets really intense. It took us 2 goes to actually get this because ours wasn't bugged. We had to do it correctly. And our healer, who is a very, very top end, I think he's like in a World 10th guild now, mythic healer, he was like, I have this achievement, it's super easy. And then when we actually did it, it was like, this is absolutely not how we did it. So some people have reported that this achievement pops like at the end of the dungeon, just as you're about to pull Hellier and stuff like that. So if you don't have it, and you're still in a reasonable gear level, I would really recommend you find a group to try and get this done, because it's super intense. And that's all you can really ask for the achievements, where a lot of them are crap. Blackrock Hold. This one is really, really cool. The next one I recommend, because it's so fucking funny, is Got to Catch 'Em All. Got to Catch 'Em All. It's the Pokemon achievement, right? I'm not going to show footage of this achievement because it's part of the fun. It's absolutely part of why this achievement is so fun. It's in Neltharion's lair. You're going to be looking for snails. They all have really cool names, and you will be mind blown, for many of you, I was anyway, as to the hidden areas that are in Neltharion's lair that I didn't know about. The fish in the barrel will finally make sense. All that stuff will work. All you need to do this achievement is open Wowhead to find the locations of the snails and speak to the Tauren when you get in there, and they will give you an item to enable you to catch them, Pokemon style, or so they say. The next one I actually really had fun with was the Poor Unfortunate Souls. So this one on paper doesn't sound too difficult. You clear Blackrock Hold, then you Hearthstone to Valdesal in Stormheim, and then you have to clear the Maw of Souls immediately after clearing Blackrock Hold with nobody dying. Now, it's not really a speedrun, okay? You will get a debuff. You get a debuff at the, or a buff, I should say, at the end of clearing Blackrock Hold, which then gives you a time limit to kill Ymmeron in Maw of Souls. Now, once you do that, you'll get a new buff with a different timer, so you're not really racing against time. You can't really cheese it like that. You just have to do Maw of Souls without dying, anybody dying at all. It gets so intense once you reach Hellier, because you know, someone fucks up on that breath, someone just stands in that stun when the bow breaks and all that kind of stuff, that it doesn't matter how good you are, your butthole will be quivering at the end of the Poor Unfortunate Souls achievement, which makes it super fucking cool. We thought it was going to be boring. But by the end of it, again, we did it with this mythic healer. He had 80% overhealing on the Helya fight because he was so terrified someone was going to die. It really just pumps your blood up, and that's what's the best parts of the achievements. The other one that was very, very cool was the No Time to Waste achievement. Again, a little saddened by this one, as many of you are probably already thinking, you can cheese it. You can. It's in the Archway. It's the last boss of the Archway, and you have to do it without killing any of the Timeless Wraiths. So if you've done the Archway, when you get transported into the Time Warp Zone, where you have to run back through the dungeon to get back to the last boss, then you'll know that you get stunned periodically by these elemental things that are in there. You have to do it without killing those guys, okay? So you can't kill any of them. You can cheese this, which makes the achievement super boring. So all you do is you let somebody die in phase 1. The rest of the team goes into the Time Warp phase, and that guy like soulstones or reses in some manner, and is instantly back at the boss. So you defunct the entire phase and make the achievement super easy. I really recommend you don't do it that way because it's way less fun, and this achievement is actually a ton of fun and very intense again towards the end, because you have various ways of stopping them, but they're going to keep coming. And you can actually do some sneaking and avoid pulling some of them and all that kind of stuff, which makes being in that phase much more interesting. And certainly by the time you get to the outer phase, you either had good luck and could dodge a few of them, or you pulled all of them because it was unavoidable and you couldn't kill them, so you were just sort of interrupting and keep moving. They have so little health. The first time we tried this achievement, I said I was going to respec to a non-cleave spec. My fire spec on my mage naturally cleaves. There's nothing I can do about it. So I said I'll respec so I don't accidentally kill them. The guy said don't do that. We got the boss to about 5%, and one of the mobs got near it, and my ignite naturally spreaded to that target, naturally spread over, and killed it so quickly. They have so little health, which means you're going to be using lots of CC, banishes, fears, novas, just trying to hold them back. On our second attempt, we had a really unlucky and actually pulled all of them because it was unavoidable. And what we ended up doing was me and a warlock were CCing them around a corner, so they were line of sight from a rogue and the tank and the healer, and we just stayed in this area trying to just hold them back, slow them down while they got the group down, and that made it a ton of fun to get that achievement done, so I recommend you get that. The last one, which is fun, but it's also, some of you might not be clear on how this one works, is Who's Afraid of the Dark in the Vault of the Wardens. The way this one works is you have to defeat Cordana after doing Creeping Doom. So that's the Phalanx. For any of you who did Throne of Thunder, you'll know about the Phalanx mechanic on the Storm Kings, where they will just travel through. And if you've done this fight, obviously you'll be aware they're green ghosts that travel across the platform, and they have a gap in there. So you have to do that without holding the light. Now, it's when she's in the air. So this is the first phase. She does Creeping Doom twice. That's the actual Phalanx phase. When she takes off into the air, nobody can be holding the light. Now, the way it says successfully navigating Creeping Doom indicates that it's just that one phase, okay? That's not true from what we found, because we couldn't work out while it wasn't working. Even on the second phase, if someone takes a little bit of damage or something in the second phase, it doesn't indicate that in the wording, but that absolutely seems to nullify the achievement and you can't get it done. Which makes it a little bit more intense, because you're dragging the boss and you can bloodlust there, and you can actually still DPS her in that phase. She doesn't go up into the air. I would also really recommend not re-engaging the boss until she literally lands after going into the air, and then wait for her to spawn her ad, because she does it immediately as she comes back down. Then you can grab the light. The cast time is much longer than it appears to be, so Creeping Doom will essentially be finished and she'll still be casting, being up in the air. She actually rises up into the middle of the room there. And that creates a little bit more fun because you're trying to do it both ways while trying to get this achievement, and that makes it a lot more fun. The rest of them, unfortunately, can't recommend any of them. They're fucking, some of them are so bad. So bad. The Blackrock Hold one of having to get the 6 notes, you can either be really lucky there, or you can be really unfortunate. It took me about 12 runs of Blackrock Hold to actually get all the notes, because I just kept getting repeats. You can do it on normal, heroic, and mythic difficulty, though, so you can spam normal to get in there, although people will be pretty pissed that you keep going in, especially if you're after your last note. And you leave because you know where it is and it's not there, so you just get the fuck out. Some of the notes are at the very, very end of the dungeon. Some are quite early on. So if you obviously say, I need this one, it's in the early part of the dungeon, it's not there, I'm leaving. I don't want to be in normal Blackrock Hold anymore. So that's the thing that you want to be aware of as well there. The rest of them, yeah, are pretty simple. You've probably done a lot of them passively. Some of them you do without even trying, or they're just not that interesting. There's the Halls of Valor one involving the Stormdrake is really boring. It takes absolutely fucking ages. Is running around, avoiding a Stormdrake, and then keeping deer alive, and then getting a Stormdrake to eat them. It's just one of those achievements where the tank basically does it, and the rest of you just sort of chill out. Ready for Raiding 5 is easy or hard depending on the class, but not difficult like it was in wasn't in Warlords of Draenor either. But still, the ones I've recommended to you there, those 5, I found to be really fun. But they will become so much fucking easier as more gear you get. So be wary of that. If you're watching this late in the expansion, you have like 900 gear or something stupid, that you're not going to find that as fun, and you're probably picking these up naturally. But at the current stage of the game, if you're like in early gear still, you're not raiding, or you've done some very normal basic raiding, I recommend you try those ones out, even if you're not going for the Legion hero, because I think you'll have good fun with them. Alright guys, I'll see you again. Bye bye.